Liam Neeson is back. He's back as Mike McGann. Who the hell is Mike McGann, I hear you ask? Well, that's the character that Liam Neeson played in 2021's action thriller Ice Road. And here we are with a direct sequel to that movie. But did it leave me with a cold reception? Let's find out. So Ice Road Vengeance is the 2025 sequel to that first Ice Road movie. Again, it is brought to us by Jonathan Hensleigh, who wrote and directed that first movie and has done the same here. He also brought us the fantastic 2004 Punisher starring Thomas Jane. How can I not mention that? The film follows the character of Mike McGann, yet again played by Liam Neeson, only this time round he's suffering a bit of trauma due to the death of his brother, who has died in the service out in Iraq. He's got his ashes, and selfishly his brother wants his ashes scattered atop of Mount Everest. Do you know how hard it is to climb Mount Everest, let alone for a 70-year-old fella like Liam Neeson? But there we go. That's what his brother wants. So Liam Neeson hops on a plane over to Nepal, to Kathmandu airport, where he's taken to this little town and he's met by his guide, Danny, played by Bingbing Fan. I've seen that name recently over the past few days, but I have no idea who she is. They get onto a tour bus driven by this Australian fella, which kind of makes sense because a lot of this film was actually filmed in Australia. And lo and behold, their bus is targeted by these two individuals that are tracking this boy who want to kidnap him. But this goes back a bit in the film, because earlier on in the film, we get introduced to this little town of folk who are being kind of harassed out of their land that they own for this tycoon fella who wants to build this massive big dam and take advantage of them. Only one family is standing in their way, and he's killing off the people in this family, one person at a time. Hence why they get on this bus where one of the grandsons of this fella has got on that bus, and they want to kidnap him because they want his father. They want to find out where his father is. So they get his father to sign over the land. Liam Neeson gets involved with Bingbing Fan. That's Danny. There's other people on this bus. Grace O'Sullivan plays Star Myers. She's there with her father, again, to go and visit Everest. But her father seemingly knows stuff in a frustratingly kind of cheaply, easily written way. Yeah, so anyway, so this film here, okay, it's like I said, 1 hour and 52 minutes. I do feel that it overstays its welcome in length. I didn't mind it, though. You know, the first Ice Road was... I gave it quite a bad review, I think, when I first saw it, but it's kind of grown on me. I've watched it a couple of times since. I like the concept of it, but here we're stepping more into kind of action territory. You know, Ice Road comes into it at one part of the movie, but frustratingly, it still does the same thing as what the first film does. In that, if you remember in the first film, when that truck is flipped and they kind of MacGyver this system to lift the truck back over, and it seems to be done in no time whatsoever, we have a similar thing going on halfway through this movie. The action set pieces aren't half bad, but they are let down by a kind of cheap looking CG, green screen kind of work going on at certain elements of it. But then there are other moments that actually look pretty damn good. It's kind of a film of two halves in that sense. You know, being set in Australia and where it's filmed, it actually doesn't look bad as, you know, I mean, I don't know what Nepal looks like, but, you know, regions that aren't covered in snow, it doesn't look too bad what they've done here, the job they've done. Yeah, you know, I had fun with the film. I could have done with it being 20 minutes, a bit shorter, but Liam Neeson, he's on point in it. You know, you get from it what you get from it, and that's a Liam Neeson action thriller movie. These type of films that he's knocking out 10 to the dozen lately, and you know, and they prove quite successful on home video or on streaming, wherever it may be. So yeah, an enjoyable film. It's probably one that I'd pick up on physical media actually and give another watch, because you know, although it had its flaws, it was okay. It was serviceable, and I didn't mind it. I had fun with it. And what else can you get if you don't get that from a film?